Perreault deserves a little shut-eye. He's got a demanding job as an analog specialist at an Ottawa high-tech firm. Look more closely and you'll notice he hasn't actually left the office. It's a new millennium and we all feel like we're working too hard. We all feel like we're so tired, so we're all trying to give ourselves a little bit of a break. But if you think you're working too hard, there's a company in Ottawa that gives lying down on the job a whole new meaning. Perreault works for Analog Design Automation, a startup that helps design circuits for the semiconductor industry. The company is poised to tap into a market worth up to $40 billion US. That kind of pressure sometimes means long hours at the office. To keep Perreault and his co-workers happy, the firm set up bunk beds. That's right, bunk beds. And so how often have you actually used these bunk beds at all, either of you, or?
Well, for napping, I mean, if you just want a quick power nap, I'd say I use it probably about once a week. It's not really that big an issue, but it's nice to have.
Power napping. Clearly, yeah. I'm in the wrong industry because where I work, I don't have a bed to nap in. But that's another issue altogether.
Good social
Reed Van Mel is just 25, but admits he has worked 90 to 100 hours a week on occasion. That makes consuming coffee an all-consuming passion here. Conversations are more likely to strike up at the Java machine than the old water cooler. And these guys have a bigger stockpile of provisions than the contestants on Survivor. Sleeping over isn't just a fad here. Chief Financial Officer Don Evers shows off a brand new bunk bed room being built at company headquarters. He even showed us a future shower and locker room area. This is starting to sound like a home away from home here. We got beds, we're going to have showers, we're going to have lockers.
Well,
what else
we're trying to create a warmth.
Yeah.
An environment where people are comfortable to come into. They feel, it's not, a 9 to 5 situation, and we have, it's a community.
While the place is set up for sleepovers, employees say that only happens sometimes when specific deadlines are looming, and they insist they're not being forced to work too hard.
I wouldn't necessarily say there's that sort of pressure here at all. Our whole philosophy, at least the philosophy that I've seen, is more of do whatever form of work works best for you. If it's productive for you to work an 18-hour day, go for it. If it's productive for you to come in 9 to 5 all week, then that's fine. That's your prerogative. I wouldn't say there's that pressure here at all.
To be fair, Analog Design Automation isn't all work and no play. Staffers are rewarded with lots of social outings, a laid-back atmosphere, and no dress code. Of course, financial incentives don't hurt either.
We have, obviously, from a financial point of view, you have the standard option packages. We provide excellent compensation and a benefits program.
Whew, I got my chunky soup here, I got my Coca-Cola. You know, high-tech people aren't the only ones in the world that put in long hours. I, for example, have been putting in some pretty long hours for this show. But what I really want to know is, can anybody still be productive at 3 o'clock in the morning? To find out, I went to the sleep disorders lab at the general campus of the Ottawa Hospital.
We monitor their EEG, their brain waves, eye movements, muscle tone, breathing, oxygen levels, leg movements.
Kathy Lutley-Borland is a specialist here. When she's not tracking patients on the infrared camera in this lab, she's tracking the latest research. She says working truly crazy hours is actually counterproductive.
The main implications would be that, you're just totally so sleepy that you think you're getting the amount of work done, but it's actually taking you longer to do the tasks that you want. So you're really not as efficient, your performance is down, your concentration's down. You're not as sharp as you should be, so you really shouldn't be working that. You could probably do the same amount of work if you got more sleep in a less amount of time.
According to U.S. researchers, people who merely feel tired make at least 30% more errors during work or other tasks, and 40% of people aged 18 to 29, the key age bracket of many tech workers, say they feel tired at least 2 full days out of 5 in the work week. Lutley Borland has some advice for anyone who burns the midnight oil far too often.
My recommendation is don't do it. It's very simple.
High-tech firms have become so identified with long work hours that the Ontario government changed the law to recognize it. In December 2000, the province extended the legal work week from 48 hours to a new maximum of 60. Unions slammed the measure, but many high-tech companies supported the bill, saying it just legalizes what's already a reality in their industry.
The other thing is these people who keep track of their hours, a lot of companies do timesheets.
Bruce Linton
Why
has
do you
been
do
living the
timesheets?
high-speed, high-tech lifestyle for almost a
every high-tech company
decade.
does time. We try to just let people do what they need to do, and we don't keep timesheets. There's no scorecard of who put the longest hours in. It's who got the job done.
The former Crosskeys executive now heads up WebHancer, an Ottawa software firm that helps .coms improve their website operations. In the long run, Linton says preventing burnout is more important than any change to Ontario law.
You know, we're trying to build a company. If we squeeze everybody as much as we can every week, they'll be out of here in a year, and we're not going to have what we need to grow. So whether you get 60 hours or 35 hours it's not really the issue. It's whether or not you can get 5 years out of somebody working on part of the team.
Linton keeps his staff refreshed with goodies like a fully stocked kitchen and free trips to New York. Yet even he succumbs to the need for speed at the office.
I better go do the sale or I'm
Okay,
dead.
thanks, Bruce.
Thanks,
Take care.
guys. See you later.
The bottom line seems to be this. Sure, techies work hard, but they also play hard, and they get lots of incentives to work such long hours. By the way, the guys at Analog Design told me they never argue over who gets the top bunk. As for me, I'm just going to take all this information and sleep on it. For HTTV, I'm Christine Wong.
You can actually control matter on that